Yeah. Welcome to my window, where I'm transparent enough to let you use your screen to peer into my mind. ISO boom. Let me show you what I'm drawing. I'm drawing a man who is held back, muffled, and ultimately restrained or pushed down by these obscure hands that represent certain factions of society, while at the same time he's only trying to pull them up. Though he's clearly not strong enough, he makes an effort anyway. He's trying to assist the very forces that seem to be resisting him. Okay, now let me break it down. There are a lot of topics recently that I've wanted to tackle, but I've found hard to discuss. For the most part, these topics are fairly controversial, and though all I want to do is create civil, positive discussion, I'm well aware of the nature of the internet, and how people are very quick to be angry and find fault in nearly everything. I can still understand this because there are plenty of things to be angry about. Oppression often happens at systematic, local, or even individual levels. However, this is a two-edged sword because although this anger can be channeled to fuel positive changes, I also notice how it can be very divisive and fueled for personal vendettas or agendas. This anger can come across as condescending or dismissive when the person or people encounter a different yet fairly open-minded worldview. So what may happen is, because these people who are easily angered have often encountered individuals who are hostile opponents of their position or perspective and cherry-pick the information they choose to accept, the angered folk can no longer discern who is biased or selectively ignorant from those who are genuinely unaware of the injustices that the angered group may be facing. So when these angered individuals are dismissive to those who are uninformed or unenlightened because they believe them to be those selectively ignorant individuals, they are dismissed. They're actually being detrimental towards their cause and making more enemies instead of allies, and worsening their victimhood simply because they don't have the patience to properly explain or inquire the perspective of these unaware folk. And really explain what they're going through. Or leading others to sources that may enlighten them to what they're going through. When it comes to any cause, discussion is always the best place to start because people won't support what they don't understand or sympathize with. That being said, I've encountered a lot of issues that I've actively wanted to discuss and exchange thoughts on, not just on this platform, but also with friends and family. But more often than not, I've been encountering the aforementioned dismissive behavior simply because I don't understand, despite the fact that the very reason I opened the discussion in the first place was so that I could understand more, get new information that I hadn't considered before. It's been so difficult to simply learn from others because whenever I offer a different perspective on a situation or question something, people get mad because it's not exactly like their perspective or their worldview, and they just shut down and they write me off as selectively ignorant or on the side of the oppressor that they may be facing. And others who do hear me out may sometimes suggest I should avoid the conversation altogether because people get so heated and it's so personal to them. But since when does silence lead to any societal situations? Things only progress when conversations lead to actions, and those actions change lives. But nothing will change if we don't communicate first. So I've been feeling stuck because of this dilemma. I mean, I don't know if it's a legit paradox, but that's what I'm calling it. Maybe closer to a dilemma, but I feel like paradox sounds better. Anyway, so here it is. On one hand, if I am deliberately silent about certain issues, right, I may be seen as someone who's on the side of the oppressor. However, if I open discussion and don't hit all the precise footnotes to appease those who are easily offended, which are often the leaders because of the cause they're supporting, then I'm seen as the oppressor myself. This is the dilemma. No matter what I do, I'm risking something. So if it's a lose-lose dilemma, I'd rather make an effort to do something positive and at least try to maneuver my way through the whole minefield than continue to do nothing and possibly be perceived as someone who doesn't care at all or doesn't care enough to make an effort towards change. As for those dismissive individuals, I can't please everyone. Even if I try to, I'll lose myself in the process because I'll be joining their hive mind, unable to think for myself. Even if I was in direct opposition to their agenda, because I can't agree with absolutely everything, then wouldn't it still make sense to try and understand the logic of those I disagree with so I can later on come up with some counter arguments? The only way I can properly understand is through discussion. That's all I want to do here. Because so many people have intriguing perspectives, and I see the exchange of perspectives as an opportunity for growth, not division. Now, with that being said, I will be talking about more sensitive topics like the usage of the N-word, gender inequality, LGBTQ in the church, etc. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want any of your ideas to be challenged, then please do not tune in, because this is a platform for questioning and thinking, with the understanding that no one has all the answers. Once again, remember that you're peering into my mind. So there's questions that I want to ask. There's things that I want to talk about that I may not be ready to do with, or I may not have the opportunity to do otherwise. And this is where I want to do it. That was a lot. But hopefully y'all respond and y'all discuss with me. Grace and peace.